The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. A Simplified Summary. Chapter 1. The Wardrobe. During World War II, 4 siblings, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, are sent from London to the countryside to stay with an old professor for safety. The professor's house is large and full of mysteries, and one day, while exploring, Lucy, the youngest, discovers an old wardrobe in an empty room. When she steps inside, she finds herself in a magical land called Narnia, covered in snow. In Narnia, Lucy meets a faun named Mr. Tumnus, who explains that Narnia is under the rule of the White Witch, who has made it always winter, but never Christmas. Mr. Tumnus is supposed to report any humans he sees to the White Witch, but he likes Lucy and helps her return home safely instead. When Lucy tells her siblings about her adventure, they don't believe her. Chapter 2. Edmund and the White Witch. A few days later, Edmund follows Lucy into the wardrobe and finds himself in Narnia too. However, instead of meeting Mr. Tumnus, Edmund meets the White Witch. She pretends to be friendly and gives Edmund enchanted Turkish delight, a candy that makes him crave more. The witch convinces Edmund to bring his siblings to her, promising him that he will become a prince if he does so. When Edmund returns, he lies to Peter and Susan, saying that he and Lucy were just pretending, making Lucy very upset. Chapter 3. Into Narnia. Eventually, all 4 siblings enter the wardrobe and find themselves in Narnia. Lucy takes them to Mr. Tumnus's cave, but they find it ransacked. A note explains that Mr. Tumnus has been arrested for helping a human. While trying to figure out what to do, they meet a talking beaver named Mr. Beaver, who tells them that they must meet Aslan, the true king of Narnia, who is returning to overthrow the White Witch. The children follow Mr. Beaver to his home, where he and Mrs. Beaver tell them more about Aslan. They explain that there is a prophecy that says when 2 sons of Adam and 2 daughters of Eve sit on the 4 thrones at Cair Paravel, the witch's reign will end. Hearing this, Edmund sneaks away to find the White Witch, hoping she will make him a prince, as promised. Chapter 4. Betrayal and Rescue. Edmund reaches the White Witch's castle, but instead of being welcomed, he is treated as a prisoner. The witch is furious that Edmund did not bring his siblings and prepares to capture them all. Meanwhile, the other 3 children, along with the beavers, set out to find Aslan. As they journey, they notice that the snow is melting and winter is ending, signs that Aslan is near. Eventually, they reach the stone table, where they meet Aslan, a majestic and powerful lion. Aslan agrees to help them rescue Edmund. Chapter 5. The Sacrifice. Aslan's forces rescue Edmund from the White Witch, and he is reunited with his siblings. Aslan speaks privately with Edmund, who apologizes for his betrayal. However, the witch arrives and demands Edmund's life, claiming that he belongs to her because of his betrayal. She invokes the deep magic, an ancient law that states all traitors belong to her and must be killed. Aslan offers himself in Edmund's place, and the witch agrees. That night, Aslan secretly goes to the stone table, where the witch and her followers tie him up, mock him, and finally kill him. Susan and Lucy, who followed Aslan, are heartbroken and stay with his body through the night. Chapter 6. Aslan's Return. At dawn, the stone table cracks, and Aslan is resurrected. He explains to Susan and Lucy that there is a deeper magic that the witch did not know about. If an innocent being offers to die in a traitor's place, they will come back to life. Overjoyed, Susan and Lucy ride on Aslan's back to the witch's castle, where Aslan breathes life into the statues of creatures the witch had turned to stone. With the newly freed creatures, Aslan leads the charge against the witch in the final battle. Chapter 7. The Final Battle. Peter, Edmund, and Aslan's army face the White Witch's forces in a great battle. At first, the fight seems evenly matched, but Aslan arrives with reinforcements and turns the tide. Aslan himself kills the White Witch, ending her reign of terror over Narnia. With the witch defeated, the four siblings are crowned as the kings and queens of Narnia at Cair Paravel, fulfilling the ancient prophecy. They rule wisely and well for many years, bringing peace and prosperity to the land. Chapter 8. The return to the real world. Years pass, and the four siblings grow into adulthood as rulers of Narnia. One day, while hunting in the forest, they come across the wardrobe entrance again. Curious, they step through and find themselves back in the professor's house, returned to their childhood bodies. No time has passed in the real world, and the professor assures them that they will return to Narnia someday, though not through the wardrobe.